Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!
Hello friends, I'm back today with another video on Maugan Ra. I had initially penciled this video to be done in a week's time, but I've had so many messages and requests for updated guides and infographics that I've decided to sit down and get this out to you. Now, the weather this weekend has been glorious, and for those of you that know how grim Scottish weather can be, know that I'm creating this as a labour of love, rather than enjoying the 1 week of good weather we usually get each year. I hope you enjoy the video. As usual, this video will have timestamps and chapter markings available if you want to skip ahead. If you want to support me and my work, please consider entering my referral code at the end of the video. It earns you 100 Blackstone and also goes a long way in allowing me to continue to do this. By now most of you will know what a legendary event is. However, there are still newer viewers that come to my channel, so I will briefly outline what this is and what to expect. Legendary events are special events that tend to run roughly once every 5 weeks and last a week at a time. They are an opportunity for you to really test the limits of your roster in order to earn points and unlock a legendary character, the rarest and most elusive in the game. There are 3 sections to each event, and each section has its own traits and restrictions in terms of characters that you can bring along. The idea here is that if you want to succeed and push deep into the event, you also need a fairly deep roster. I see a lot of comments about how people are disappointed with the progress they make every time a legendary event comes around. Please don't despair. These events are designed to be endgame content and occur a total of 3 times. If you follow the infographics and tips that I have in my video, you will have a good chance of unlocking the character. If you're approaching the event for the first time, you will need to full clear 8 levels in the Alpha, Beta and Gamma tracks in order to unlock the character. There are 2 event packs that you can buy to help you reduce this requirement to full clearing 6 levels. People sometimes ask me which of the 2 packs I would recommend getting if they were in the market for only buying one of the 2. The bonus shipment pack at the top right of your screen gives you more event progress. However, the bundle pack contains Blackstone, which is the universal currency that can be used for general game progress even outside of the legendary event. I can't tell you which of those you should get, it's your money and you should spend it how you like. This screen shows you a rough estimate on how high you should build characters in order to expect to clear each level. As a disclaimer, these are rough estimates and will vary based on each character and section. This infographic shows you how many points each character scores in the event overall. It is useful in order to understand, based on your roster, which characters might net you the most points. However, bear in mind that just because a character can score a lot of points, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are amazing in legendary events. I'll touch more on this later on, specifically speaking about Isabella, who is an MVP in these sorts of legendary events. This infographic is an Excel document that shows all of the characters in the game and which traits they are useful for. As I have always done, I will provide a link to this in the video description below for you to save and edit the Google Sheet for your own use. I have highlighted here characters in shades of green that I would recommend as solid options. One thing that a lot of you really liked from my Shadow Sun video was a more tailored list of recommendations for each section, so I'll continue that here. For the Alpha section, I really like the trio of Angrax, Rotbone and Maladus. Angrax is a great character for all of the legendary events because his passive allows you to decimate enemies as they come off the spawn point. Rotbone and Maladus are a power couple, no pun intended, that maximize the Nurgle armor debuff in order to allow Maladus to cleave swathes of enemies. Isabella is another option if you have her built. Although her overall score is low, meaning that the amount of traits she fulfills is low, she's a really good character whenever she can be used. The strategy with Isabella is to try and hide her behind tankier allies and have them automatically heal through Isabella's passive. This allows you to slowly grind down waves of enemies and achieve victory. You can find use for her here, as well as the Gamma section. For Beta, I like the combination of Aleph Null and Revas. They fulfill the same 4 out of 5 traits, and Aleph Null's healing ability pairs very well with Revas's tanky nature, stats, and mechanical trait. Aleph Null is a mainstay of campaign success, and Revas is a solid option in guild raids, making them both good choices for investment. Gibba Scraps can be used in every trait in this section, and has a useful armor buffing aura that increases your team's survivability. Malladus and Rotbone are also usable here for no mech, no summons, and no Black Legion, allowing you to complete 3 traits at once fairly easily if you've built them up, in addition to their usefulness in the alpha section. For Gamma, the mainstay of success will be the trio you see on screen. Isabella hides in a corner and allows Bellator and Burchard to tank with their high health and armor stats. It's a bit cheesy, but it works, and it allows you to push high up the progress ladder. Shozail also scores well, and is useful not just in this legendary event, but in all legendary events because of his powerful ranged drones. If you can get him set up behind a screen of your characters, he will do very well and pick off multiple enemies each round. So you've got a load of useful tips here, but what happens if you don't unlock Maugan Ra? What happens to your progress in shards? The developers have kindly allowed me to share the following information with you. Event shards will get converted to normal shards at a 1-to-1 ratio, and Waystone fragments will get converted to gold. I'm also allowed to tell you that Maugan Ra will eventually make his way into the requisition pool, but not immediately after his event ends. There may be other ways to earn his shards, but as of yet these are not confirmed or for public consumption. Thanks for bearing with me. I've got a bit more to share with you. Firstly, this month I will not be doing a Dirty Dozen, largely because the scores and meta haven't changed hugely from last month. It also gives my hardworking and busy collaborators a rest from my constant pestering for their input. Instead, I'll be doing the giveaway that I normally do as part of the Dirty Dozen series here, in this video. We can't talk about Maugan Ra without mentioning Eldryon, the king of guild raids. If you want to win a full rare unlock of Eldryon, all you have to do is leave a comment below and you'll be in with a chance of winning. The draw will be open until Maugan Ra's event starts, and I'll contact the winners shortly thereafter. I hope you enjoyed that video. These videos take a reasonable amount of time to edit and produce for you all, and I'd really appreciate if you could consider entering my Refer a Friend code on screen. It's one-time use, but it will give you 100 Blackstone and go a long way to supporting me and allowing me to continue to produce this sort of work. Finally, if you're looking for a new guild to play with, Pants of Horus is looking for the final few spots to be filled up. Regardless, we welcome anyone to our server via Discord link below, where we have an open and fun community that we would love for you to be part of. That's all for now, folks. Thanks again and enjoy your day.
Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!